Hey everyone, it's Jink-ko here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Ultrasabers Dark Standard Issue Battle Saber. Now, I ordered the Saber this year on March 17th, and it arrived April 14th. So, that was just about their lead time of a little bit over 3 weeks. And I've had the Saber for about a month now, been spinning it, dueling with it, so I'm going to give my honest review. So, let's start by looking at the hilt. So if we look at the top here, we have a slanted emitter that is non-removable. You cannot remove it. It has nice silver on the inside. And as we go down, you see 5 milled-in rings. Now these rings I found to be abrasive after prolonged use. So I've dueled and spun the Saber a lot. I found these rings after prolonged use, to end up actually cutting me. So I'd be wary of gripping the Saber on this area, or if you use the Saber, just use gloves. So looking at the emitter, we have the blade retention screw. That's where you tighten the blade in or loosen the blade to take it out. So go down, you can see I have the standard guarded AV switch. Sorry, not AV switch, just the black guarded switch. It's a nice switch. I didn't feel like the $15 upgrade for the AV switch was worth it, so I just got the black guarded switch, and I actually really like it. It looks nice with this hilt. So as we go down, you have some silver oblong milled in parts, and unlike the rings, these are not sharp. These are really nice. It's nice and smooth. As we go down, we have more of those rings. And again, these are abrasive. After prolonged use, they could cut you. And then we have a little bit more of those oblong silver bits. And we have our pommel. Now, this pommel I found to not be exactly the same finish as the rest of the hilt. The pommel seems to be a lot more glossy than the rest of the hilt. It also seems to have like some sort of different texture, but this probably came off a different hilt. And then they just put it on the Dark Standard issue when they sold it to me. So now that we've looked at it, let's get some measurements for it. So from the top of the slanted emitter over here to the bottom of the pommel that came with mine, let's get that in the frame. That is just a little over a foot, so about 12.5 inches. And then the width of it, let's see, from the grip section right here, that is going to be about 1.5 inches. So overall, these are actually pretty thin sabers. When I saw them on the website, I was a little bit weary because I thought they would be like thicker and bigger, because I've heard a lot of rumors that Ultrasabers has bigger hilts. But to my understanding, I think Ultrasabers does not have big hilts in the way like when you grip around it. It's just, I feel like they might be saying in lengthwise it might be a big hilt. But I do not find these to be very big, and I find them very easy to spin. They're very lightweight. I actually measured the weight of this saber, and with the pommel that it came with, it's just, I think it's 1 pound and 1 ounce. So not that heavy at all. And the blade I've inserted in it is a 24-inch UltraEdge Midgrade blade. And this blade weighs 4 ounces. So again, this saber in total weighs less than 2 pounds. So it's not that heavy at all. Very fun to spin. Even though it does not weigh like 2 pounds and it's lightweight, you still feel that like nice heft. Like you can feel the quality of this build. Very sturdy. So the reason why I have 2 here is because I ended up buying this. This is the silver quick release coupler that Ultrasabers sells for if you want to make a staff. And so this is it. what you do is you see the bit that has some sort of coin, like inner right there. What you want to do is you want to pull back on this like shroud piece, and then you like expose this area, and then you grab this end and you pull out, and there you go, and you have two ends. And then to put it back in, you simply pull back and you insert. Oh, my bad. And what that's doing is that if you see inside there, you can see there's like ball bearings. What you're doing is when you're pulling the back piece, you're pulling it back. What it does is it loosens them and brings them in enough for this to push through, and then you release and it hooks in this groove piece right here. And so once you put it in, you cannot pull it out. So I'm gonna attach this on these sabers. So overall, as I've dueled with these, they've held up very well, even with their mid-grade blade. I feel I haven't been going like 100% like baseball swing with these lightsabers as of yet, but I've done medium dueling, I'd say, about medium dueling, and so far it has not caused me any problems with the electronics or the blade itself. There might be some minor scratches, but I don't find like gashes or any bends or folds in the diffusion film. And actually using this as a staff, I have dropped it a couple of times, sorry, and it's held up really well. Like the electronics, like I haven't seen any flaws. They still work well, and the sabers have no dents or scratches by me. However, I did get one of these in with a scratch just over the button. You can see right there. It's very minor. Nothing I really care about too much, but let's place this in frame. Might be a little bit hard to get in because of the staff, but I ordered both of these sabers in Obsidian V4 soundboard, which is their premium sound, and I chose the blade color to be Pyrestone orange. No flash on clash. So when I got this, and I turned it on and I was looking at the color. The color looked to me like a lot more like, I don't know, it looked a lot more light than I thought it would be. Because in the image on Ultrasabers website, Pyrestone orange looks a lot more like a red orange. But then when I saw it in real life, it looks a lot more like the color of, let's see, like a Crayola crayon. I'd say that's what it looks like. Looks like the standard orange Crayola crayon, which isn't that red. So I don't know. This looks more like what the fire orange was depicted in through the image on Ultrasabers website. I don't know if that's just me because because Pyrestone orange is a mixed color, so it's mixed with, I think, like red and green LEDs, and so I'm pretty sure it might vary for everyone depending on the position of the red or green LED, but mine came out more orange than I expected. I still really like the color. It's super bright, solid, but I was hoping for it to be a little bit more red, orange. But let's turn them on. So I can bring it a little bit closer to the camera so I can turn them on and I'll show you guys. On camera, it looks a lot more bright, like a lot more white as the core, and then like it illuminates orange. But in real life, it's actually like solid orange. There's not like a white core or anything, it's solid orange. And as you can hear, the sound font I have on both of these right now is Black Star. So since I got Obsidian V4 soundboard, I have a choice of multiple fonts that they have default preloaded on the board, and I can scroll through those, and I will show you that now. For the sake of you guys' viewing, I'm only going to show you one because it's too hard to just carry with the staff. Oh, yeah, did you see that? How I did that? I just pulled this back and then pulled it apart, and then they came out, 2 separate hilts. See, works really well. So I will show you the different fonts now. So to get to the fonts, you just simply make sure it's off, and then you press and hold, and it'll turn it on, and it'll go to the fonts. So that one that you just heard was Black Star, so we're going to play that.
Confirm.
And now you're going to listen to the swings. Now the clashes. It's very loud. It's way louder than I expected it to be. And now we're just going to listen to the lockup. Okay, now we're going to listen to the next sound font. This one, even though it did not say its name, this one is the Sith sound font.
Confirm.
As you can see, it's like a higher pitched ignition, but then it goes into a very low hum. Let's listen to the swings. Now the clashes. Now let's listen to the lockup. Let's go to the next sound font. So this one's Ancient Saber. I really do like this sound font, except for one little thing about it. As you could hear when it said Ancient Saber, it had a very high-pitched noise after. That happens also in the ignition and then when you retract the blade. So let me show it to you.
Confirm.
Right there. That high-pitched noise that you heard at the beginning, it might hurt your ears. I mean, it kind of did for me, but then I kind of got used to it as I've used the Saber. But as you can hear, it's like a very, like, kind of wind sound. That was the swing, now the clash. And now the lockup. That one also has a very, like, long retract. When you press and you hold it to turn it off, it takes a long time for the blade to actually go, turn off, because the ending sound for this is like 4 seconds. It's very loud. Episode 1. Let's listen to this.
Confirm.
Swings. Clashes. Now, let's listen to the lockup. Let's listen to the next sound font.
Episode 1.
Episode 2.
Confirm.
This one has a very explosive sounding, like, ignition. Very loud and... Those are the swings, now the clashes. Now let's listen to the lockup. episode 6.
Confirm.
Swings. Clashes. And now, let's listen to the lockup.
Episode 6.
So this beep is actually mute mode, so it'll have the light go on,
Confirm.
but there will be no sound. So in case you just want to have like a stunt saber, no sound, this is the one for you. Obsidian. Now this is the sound font that's included with all their sound sabers. It's like their main sound font.
Confirm.
Let's listen to the swings. Now the clashes. Now let's listen to the lockup. Black Star. Now we're back to where we started.
Confirm.
This is the sound font I chose for this saber. I really like this sound font. So, I'm going to show you again. Press once to turn it on. Press once it's on to start the lockup. You press it again to stop it. And then you hold down the button to turn off. And if you want to change sound fonts, you press and hold. Then you press once.
Episode 2. Episode.
And then it scrolls through. And whenever you have the one that you want, you just hold.
Confirm.
It'll say confirm, and it'll turn on your saber. So I'll say the last thing about the saber. I was gonna say when it's in staff form, one thing that I would have to say is that, like, it might annoy people that this the quick release coupler actually has rattle to it. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but when you have it together, it'll make that rattle. Now, most of it's covered up by the loudness of these sabers, but you can definitely still hear it. That may annoy some people. It doesn't really annoy me that much. But yeah, so this concludes my review on the Ultrasabers Dark Standard Issue Battle Saber. I will do a follow-up video to this one, showing you guys these sabers in the dark. So, yeah. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them, and I'll try to answer you guys with any questions you have over these sabers. Overall, I'm very pleased with what I've gotten from Ultrasabers. They're very nice. They held up very well during dueling. I would recommend these sabers very much so. So, thank you guys all for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.